What's up, guys? How you doing? It's your boy, Bitcoin Rodney, coming to you guys straight from the basement. And the reason why we're here today is to dive deep in what we call sports trading BTC. And what excited me about, now I've been seeing this for a while in my inbox. I've had at least 100 individuals or more inbox me and try to get me to join sports trading. Now, one thing about me is I am a gambler. I love to gamble. Those who know me know I'm always in Vegas. I bet a lot, on Dallas Cowboys, a lot of different games. I bet almost anything just about. But I was so busy with other projects at the time, I just didn't have the time. And someone sat down with me basically for about an hour and actually broke it down to me, and it made a lot more sense. So I went ahead and I pulled the trigger, and here I am today. However, when I do pull the trigger on any given project, I want to make sure that we hear most of all the information that can make sense from the horse's mouth or from the owner. And here we are today with the owner of Sports Trading BTC, Mr. James Ward. And I have a list of questions that I'll be asking him to make sure this is a great fit for me, a great fit for you, and a great fit for anyone that you choose to put this in front of, if you so choose to. So put your hands together and get excited for my main man, James Ward. Where are you, bro? There you go, right there.
I'm right here, Rodney. Thank you so much, man. It's hard to follow up your energy, though, but I appreciate you taking the time to invite me out here to speak to your crew.
Sure. So, so sports trading is actually a billion-dollar business. Or is it sports trading or sports betting?
They're one and the same, truthfully. The trading, honestly, from a marketing standpoint, it sounds a lot better. We call it sports wagering, sports trading. What I think is the difference in my mind, though, is, most of the time when people are betting, they're betting out of emotion, where as a company, we don't do that. Everything that we do is strategic and based on data rather than, just like, do we like the Cowboys, as you mentioned, or something like that, So there's a big difference, in my opinion, from that, but it's one and the same.
Well, if you know some information I don't know when it comes down to betting on the Cowboys, let me know ahead of time before I lose thousands of dollars again.
I got you.
So I have a list of questions I wrote down right here, and I wanted to get really, really deep in this because there are a lot of individuals who are wondering one important thing: is how is this legal in the United States?
Yeah, sure. So there's a few things to go into, and I think most of us have been around this crypto market. You've seen some of the challenges that are out there, and most companies that are in network marketing that are combined with crypto, they're usually reliant on some type of financial markets, right? They say that they're crypto trading, or they're doing mining, or they're doing arbitrage or forex trading. One of those. That's usually the category that people fall in. We don't deal with any financial instruments at all. We're truly reliant on the outcome of sporting events based upon the probability of those that are given to us by our handicappers. So from our side of it, we're not involved in the timing of the markets. We're not involved in any type of financial instruments. In addition to that, we don't take any type of bets, if you will, or anything like that. So we avoid the hassle of having to be a gaming company as well. That's not what we do. What we've done is we've created a membership that people can actually come out and participate in and pool together, where we go out there and use the data and the research that we have to be able to create, the type of results that we are. So we don't offer any type of guaranteed anything. So there's no guarantee that, something's going to happen every day. Most companies out there, they're like, hey, we're going to pay you 2 or 3 or 4% forever, and it's going to last. And I think we both know that that's a little bit of bull. But the reality is, with what we do, we're super transparent with it. We put it out there. So the legality standpoint, we are incorporated in the British Virgin Islands. We're not incorporated here in the U.S., mainly for the reasons that there's still a lot of gray areas. I'm sure you would agree when it comes to Bitcoin and network marketing. So that is the main reasons why we took this outside the US. But, from a sports trading standpoint, there's no legal challenges there. I mean, even being anywhere in the US, what we're doing, there's no problem with that.
So you're in the British Columbia, or you say British Virgin Islands?
British Virgin Islands, correct. BVI.
Okay. So also, is this available globally, or this is a US thing, or what?
No, it's definitely global. We've already broke into several different countries. I say that. I mean, we're still, it's still a ground floor opportunity, but I mean, we have attracted people from different countries. But, you guys know this with the, introduction of Bitcoin, it's really knocked down a lot of those walls that we challenge with internationally. So we've offered this up to the world. It really doesn't matter where you're at. You can participate.
Okay, cool. Can someone do this while they build their other businesses? Because some people are already doing certain businesses, and then this came along. And I believe in not having all my eggs in one basket and having multiple incomes. What's better than one check? I believe 8 checks coming in is what's important. So can someone actually do this? Get inside, not worry about betting, gambling, trading, or anything, and still have a daily income?
Yeah, so what's unique about us is we're kind of, I don't want to say we're market makers per se, but I think that we are in a unique situation that there's no one else that we're really competing with at this point in time. We've been the first to the market to bring something like this. Just like you, man, I'm an entrepreneur and I believe in multiple streams of income. So I think if you looked across the board at all of our leaders, most of them might have their own health company, or they might have something like that. Where we really try to draw the line is, if there is another company that is directly competing with us from a sports trading perspective or something like that.
Right.
Obviously, we don't want cross recruiting like that because it damages our business. But if you're telling me, hey, James, I have a health product or a travel product or anything else that you might do in network marketing or maybe outside businesses, I mean, we're cool with it. Like it only makes sense. And let's be honest, people are going to do it anyway, regardless of what we say. So we just want to make sure, as long as there's not cross recruiting and things like that, in regards to businesses that are specific to what we do, we're totally cool with it. It makes sense.
Okay. Good answer. So do you have to have any legal licenses to do this? Is there anything that, license, CISA license, SEC license, or are there anything that you have to have dealing with sports betting? Because I know right now they just passed a law that there are a lot of sports betting places in the Washington, D.C. area. So there are a license you got to have in order to do this.
Yeah, so a couple things. I mean, number one, as I said, we're not in the gaming industry, so we don't need a gaming license per se. Okay. We never when people join with us, they're participating in what we do as a company. Okay, so we're actually the ones that are going out there and doing the sports trading or the sports wagering. That's us that handles that. So you don't have to come in here with the mindset that you're going to have to become an expert in sports trading. It doesn't happen like that. So from a legal standpoint, since we don't accept any type of bets per se, the gaming side is out of it. We don't deal in financial instruments, okay? So we're not offering any type of guaranteed return. We don't deal in any financial markets where we're reliant on the ups and downs of markets for our people to be successful. So, working with or getting a registered, investment or anything like that, we don't offer investments. That's not what we do. So, investments, investor, passive, all that stuff that gets people in trouble, that's not the game that we're in. So, we're not required for that. We're set up legally in the British Virgin Islands. We're incorporated there. We're Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out as a company. So it's opened the doors for us not to have to deal with the fluctuation of currency. So, there's a lot of things that go into it, but legalities, there's not many licenses that we need to be able to perform what we're doing.
Okay, so I've done a little bit of my own due diligence, over the last week or so, or 2 weeks before I came to the decision yesterday evening. I want you, for everyone else who's watching or who may see the replay of this, go into your own words or what is legal. What exactly do you do to earn money for us?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty important, right? So what we do as a company is we work with what we consider the very best handicappers or sports trading analysts in the country. So if you think about it, there are sports 365 days a year. I mean, it doesn't matter, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, boxing, both U.S., international, college, professional. There are games going on, horse races, anything that you can think of. There's no shortage of sporting events that are taking place around the globe. And there's also no shortage of companies that are willing to allow you to wager on those, okay? So the scalability of what we do is really off the charts. But we as a company, we work with what they call brokers out there. And we go to these brokers and we work with them with our Bitcoin. So we're Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. When we send the Bitcoin to them, we take what our handicappers and our analysis tell us based on the probability of an outcome of game. So, like your Cowboys, you talk about your Cowboys, maybe they're playing the Redskins. They're going to come to us and say, look, there is a probability of this outcome, this score of the game, who's going to win, who's going to lose, the amount of points that they're going to score. And based upon what they give us, that's what helps determine the most important piece of the puzzle, which is the money management side. Okay, so as a company, we take what we know and we take a portion of our capital, a small portion of our capital every single day, and we wager that based upon the probability of these games. So we've worked with the best of the best. And, the cool thing about the way it works for us is we only have to be right about 53% of the time. And when I say that, I don't want people to immediately think, hey, he's talking about 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. I'm not talking about that because everything in our company moves in weighted averages. So, for example, we might have 10 games but that we wager in one day. But out of those 10 games, 3 will be our biggest wagers because they have the highest probability of the outcome. So we might win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. We might lose, the 7 others, but we still made enough that day to be able to do it. So we look at the long-term play here from our company. And I want you to think about this too, because this is super important. When you're dealing in the crypto space, most of the time, if you're dealing with like an arbitrage company or a crypto company, whether they're actually doing what they say they do or not, which we know most of the time they're not, but let's just say that they are. We know that in order to participate in those markets, you have to have 100% of your capital at risk, right? So the risk is that you have it in the market in which you're moving, whether it's in Bitcoin or anything else. The movements of those markets control the outcome of that company. That's the bottom line. We don't deal with those market fluctuations. Truly, the only thing that determines our profits as a company, which is the question you asked me, is the outcome of these sporting events that are based on the probability that were given by our handicappers. So as a company, our biggest goal here and our number one job is risk mitigation. And we do that by our money management, right? We make sure that, not too much of our capital is ever working on one given day. In fact, we only have the most we will ever have working on one day would be 17% of our entire capital that we have in this company. And I think that that's super important to understand because it reduces the amount of risk exposure that we have, even if we lost every single game on a day, which hasn't happened yet. But if it did, we would be able to sustain that long term without having the challenges that so many companies have where, the market drops out 30% and they're still having to pay 5% or 4% on another total number. That's why you see these companies going out of business. It cannot work like that.
Well, another thing I think is kind of important is, so someone like one of us who comes in, we put in 0.10 Bitcoin or 0.5 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin or whatever. And so our funds are in your system. Now, is one's funds available back to them at any given time? Does it have to be in there a certain amount of time? So explain that part so that the people out there could understand what their funds are actually going towards.
Sure.
And do they have access to these funds or not, or the time limit when they do? So it's more understandable to where our funds are working with, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So, just to be clear, when someone comes in and they're purchasing a membership or a package, okay? So I want to be clear. It's not like they're throwing funds into an instrument that just kicks something back. They're participating in a membership, which happens to turn profits that you guys get to participate in, okay? So there's a big difference there. So when someone comes in and purchases a package from us, those funds remain inside of our pool, right? Our wagering and trading pool until someone doubles their Bitcoin. So once someone doubles their Bitcoin, they have the option at that point to take their Bitcoin and go. They can renew their package if they want and continue with us. So we're not the type of company that's set up where you can come to us, 10 days later and say, hey, can I withdraw half my money? It's not set up like that. You're actually participating in a package and a membership that you're purchasing. So those funds go into that, and that's included in our algorithm. It's a huge part of what we do. So on the flip side of that, though, you got to know we give money. People have the option to earn every single day with us. so 7 days a week. So there is a portion of funds that is constantly going back. So it alleviates that need of, where a lot of companies, when they pay you to some internal wallet that you may or may never get your money. You have to withdraw it. We actually pay it to your blockchain wallet as long as you have 0.01 or higher. So that need for needing to go get it, the reason why most people do that is because it's a financial need. We help eliminate a lot of that by our daily pays.
So what you're saying is that when a person purchases a membership here with sports trading, BTC, they should only put in what they're willing to purchase as a membership and not as a financial instrument, correct?
100%, man, because we're not a financial instrument. We're not an investment. If you've watched any of my overview calls, the one thing that I tell people when we get to the part of the purchasing, don't be foolish. If you have to go out there and get a second mortgage on your home or take out some huge cash advance that you're going to be paying 40% on, please don't join our company. I mean, it's not worth it. We designed this company to help people, not to put them in a situation where they're having to answer to their spouse or hurt their kids or not be able to do things financially. That side of the business makes me almost sick. So, I would encourage people, if they're going to get started with us, do it with the funds that, it's that money that you want to definitely participate in something that's fun, because we've created a great culture here. But the flip side of that is do it with funds that, you have the ability to grow, but it's not going to hurt you and your family every day. You're not going to have that conversation with your spouse or, your significant other every day about, man, I can't believe you put your money in that. What do we do? Those type of things, just it creates friction everywhere. So, I hope that answers your question. That's a big topic to me. So I probably spent more time than what you wanted on that, but
no, hey, that's very, very important, because believe it or not, even though you're saying that, it's going to happen. I guarantee you, I said it 1,000 times, and people, for some reason they'll do it, then they'll blame you. I put all my money. Why? What I mean? It's just something, everything, there's a risk in everything. Everything there's a risk, period.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So please, I want to hear this from you, and so everyone else can hear this. The person coming into the company, they do not know how to do it. They do not have to know how to trade, how to bet, or anything. Am I correct?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I'm simple. In a lot of ways, I prefer simplicity in almost anything that I do. And what I know for a fact, I always use my mom as an example. She'd probably kill me being on this talking about it, but I know that, she's not super technical with anything, and it's challenging for her to do small things. So for me, I always do the mom test. I mean, some people might call it like the kindergarten or the first grade test. If you have to come in and start trying to learn sports, you're not a sports fan, or learn, the different odds of how to do it and all that stuff. It's just like any of the other trading that's going on that people are trying to teach. I think it's really challenging for the normal everyday person to do it. So no, when you come in, we're not trying to make you an expert. We do have training that's coming out actually here very soon that's going to help people understand, the basics all the way up to the expert levels of what is involved in sports wagering. But it's not required, because we do all of it. If you want to do it, you can do it on your own as well, because we do share what we do. But that might be another question you're going to ask, so I won't get into that. But the answer is, yeah, you don't have to be an expert to come in here.
Okay, great. Another question I think is very important for us to know, and then for those who watch this replay, is what kind of compliance do you have in place to make sure that this is more long-term than short-term? Because there is a lot of yahoos and cowboys out there who will go out and maybe post the wrong thing, not on purpose, but because they're not trained properly to promote it properly, which I think we all need to know how to post what is properly. So do you have compliance in place already, or is that something you're getting into place?
No, so we do have a compliance officer. I would say in this area, we're not in the not messing around club. I think that people are generally, and sometimes not even on purpose, like you said, people don't know what they don't know. Sometimes they're doing things that are putting everybody in jeopardy by posting silly stuff. When it comes to earning disclaimers, when it comes to percentages, when it comes to anything like that, using the word investor, investment, passive, all those things. So I'll just tell you what our policy is, okay? The way we do it is like this. We reach out to the people first and we freeze their account. So if we see something out there, we're going to freeze your account. And by freeze your account, meaning we're not going to pay you. We're going to reach out to you. We're going to ask you to please take down what you said, maybe even a retraction in some cases, depending on what it was. So we freeze that out. And then the second part of that is once that happens, we open you back up. If you do it again, you're out for good and you've lost because, it only takes a couple people to ruin it for everybody. So we're in a really delicate situation, not because of what we've done, but because of the way the market has created over the last couple of years and how many people have been hurt. So from us, we take it very, very seriously on people's actions. Now, I will tell you, we're in the process as well, creating an FAQ and even some member guidelines that people are going to have to agree to in the back office. We just launched on October 1st. So some of what you said, are we in the process? Some of it is in process, but we are still very diligent on making sure that if we see any of this information out there, if it's given to us, we're going to squash it. And I would ask you, Rodney, and every single leader out there to help protect us as a company. We're going to do what we say we're going to do, but it's also that it takes the field's help to say, look, this person out here, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, they're saying this, that, and the other. It's going to get us all in trouble. Can you communicate with them? I know that might be like a narc or a snitch, but the truth is we're protecting each other when we do stuff like that. So I always ask, the leaders to help out from that perspective.
I mean, I definitely want to continue the income coming in for myself and my team members as well. So let me ask this question because this is something that it was sent to me, and it says it was earned 0.25% to 2.0% per day, paid every day automatically to your BTC wallet without you having to request a withdrawal. Is what is proper on your website, or is that correct?
Yeah. So we have what we call a minimum and a maximum percentage. We're actually going to change that. That content to say 0 to 2%, because the reality is nothing in this world is actually guaranteed. But right. we have what we call a minimum and a maximum trading bonus, and it's solely based upon the results of our trading profits. So our minimum bonus is something that everybody receives, regardless of what package you come in at. And we designed it not to be passive at all. We designed it because, not everybody is like you, Rodney. Not everybody has the ability to go out there and bring a lot of people to the table. So they're just either brand new, they're learning, or they just don't have the skill set. So the minimum bonus was designed to do that. But we also have a maximum that people can participate in. There's some qualifications around that. But yes, that can go all the way up to 2%. It'll never go over that. Right now it's at 1.38. Last month it was at 1.27. The previous month, 1.55. It fluctuates solely based on the profits of our company. So where you see a lot of companies out there saying, hey, we're going to pay 3% forever. Right. We know, come on, man. We know that's
right. Yeah. I get it.
Okay. So there you go.
So the next question is good answer, by the way. Do you have a team of lawyers, or do you have counsel that's in place to handle any jurisdictional laws or cross-state issues that you may come across later on, so that you can change things and keep things moving along? So, and are you allowed to mention their names, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, so we do have counsel. We don't have the traditional MLM or network marketing attorneys that, may be famous in this industry. I mean, I've worked with those folks before, I've been here for a while. So what I've seen in it is nothing against any of them, but usually if you get to push and shove, most of the time, those attorneys, it's not like a having your back thing. It's like, hey, we told them not to do it anyway thing, and so we've chosen to really not go into the network marketing space as far as our attorneys. We have private counsel that we work with. We have our compliance officers that work directly with them. So obviously, if we get into a situation where there has to be involvement from that, we can definitely do it. We had to have attorneys set up things in the British Virgin Islands. So, we have crews there, but we also have people in I'm in the US, so we have to retain in the US as well. Even though our company's not incorporated here, it makes sense because we have people that work our program in the US as well. So we don't share our private attorneys' names just because we don't want people contacting them because they're not a big name. If it was one of the big names in the industry, we would be more than happy to share it because people would know who they are and probably try to hit them up anyway. But we try to stay out of that circle.
Gotcha. I kind of knew the answer, but for the sake of for the public, to have
that's cool.
100% or 1,000% transparency. I had to ask that question. And I guess you said before, so you're not really in the instrumental part, instruments, financial instruments. So you don't need anything about, you don't need to know anything about SEC laws. You don't cross any of those because there's no instruments here, right?
Correct.
How many paid members do you have right now? So you guys actually got started 23 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, October 1st.
Yes, sir.
I've done a little bit of research. I've already seen some encouraging and almost impossible numbers by some individuals already.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. So we went into pre-launch on August 11th. We officially launched on October 1st. One thing that's a little bit different than what we did. A lot of companies that go into pre-launch, they don't really do much, right? You can secure your position. They're getting people excited. We actually started paying from day number one. So we've been paying commissions and allowing people to participate in our program, even during our pre-launch. Even though things, our website didn't look the way we wanted it to, there were some things that we had to improve upon.
Right.
We officially launched on October 1st. And then, so right now, I would say that we're probably around 2,600. I'm pretty transparent with the numbers, which it's kind of weird. I've never really been one to share that stuff, but I think right now people have to understand what a ground floor opportunity this is. And also I don't know what numbers you've seen, but I will tell you that we have had people that have earned a great amount of Bitcoin in a short amount of time with our program. And it doesn't take a tremendous amount of people to do that. So, think about that. There's companies that have, 1 million people in them. We're at 2,500 to 2,600 people right now. We're averaging about 100 to 200 new people a day, somewhere in there. I mean, it's usually 150. So I'm probably giving you more transparency than even the people inside my company would want me to, but I want you to be aware of where we're at so you can see the ground floor opportunity this is.
Is it okay if I make a suggestion live?
Sure.
Number one, I was going through the website, seeing a couple misspells that I think should be taken care of because people will look at it as it's not being professional because a few words are like it says, bot coins to the Bitcoin, small things, but and I will send them to you at a later time. Also that maybe the number of individuals that are in the company, maybe when people join, they can see, oh, this person just joined, or this is the amount of individuals, so they can see themselves. So that question wouldn't have to be asked, and they can see what the kind of ground floor opportunity it is just by when they see the actual website. Third thing would be I'm getting all these emails that says, congratulations, Joe just joined. Great, and I love that because that shows excitement. But I would love to be able to reach out to them via my back office and send them all the proper information or things of that sort so that I can keep them together and informed, So those are some of the things that are pretty good as far as marketing is concerned, as far as I've seen so far. And maybe already there, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so as far as the misspelled words, if you see those, please let us know. I mean, we're human. There's definitely things that come up like that, but that's a 2-second change as far as changing content on a website. So if you see some of those, definitely let us know. And we're constantly updating things, so there'll be more. I will tell you, I've always been really on the corporate side of things, inside of that direct sales or network marketing, and it's always the field that tells us what the errors are. So, even if we get the best copywriters in the world, there's always things that come up. So definitely on that side of it, that's an easy fix. As far as, I want you to understand one thing that I'm sure that anyone that you speak with us that's inside of as far as leaders in our company, we're pretty open to accepting, suggestions. It doesn't mean that we're always going to take them, but man, we don't pretend to be the all-knowing. So if there's a way that you think, hey, this could fire people up more, this could be a better way to grow my business, is this something that you can do? If it makes sense, we'll absolutely do it. I mean, that from a programming standpoint, we literally can do almost anything that we want to do. So that side of it's never an issue. It's just a matter of logistically making it happen, or are there reasons that it may not happen? So as far as the emails that are going out and things like that, those are all things that are easily adjustable that we can help with. So any suggestions like that you or your team have, shoot them to us. And let's try to figure out what the best way to do it to help people get, further along.
And having an open mind as a company owner like that, that's very, very, very impressive. to be able to deal with the field to make things better for the company. Not saying you're going to take everybody's advice or every piece of advice, but to take it in consideration to make sure that you guys are having a great experience and the field is also having a great experience is very, very, very cool. So what do you see for the future of sports trading BTC? Do you have anything long-term you're going to be adding, or is this the final kaput?
No. Yeah. So, what's cool about what we're doing, I don't know how much you know about, we just went to an internal token system. I guess it's been since our official launch party, which was October 12th. Okay. So when I say internal token, we're not selling these, on an exchange. We're not coming out with an ICO or anything like that, but we have a token system that we created. And inside of that token system, you can purchase tokens as a member. But as a member, you can also sell tokens to the public as a retail product. So the reason why someone would purchase the tokens is we have a few different really cool things and some other stuff coming. So we have what we call the game of the week. The game of the week it can be a couple games a week, but it's basically games that we get from our handicappers that have the highest probability that we can see out there in a game to be able to get the result that we want. So right now we're 4-2. We have 4 wins and 2 losses on our game of the week. So people can literally take some of their tokens and they can play with us if they would choose to. It's as little as 50 tokens. So, the way it usually works, if someone put in 100 tokens and we win, they usually get about 175 tokens back, which can be withdrawable for Bitcoin, or they can keep them in our system and use them for other things. We offer those game of the weeks 1 or 2 a week. On rare occasion, we might have 3. So we probably should call it games of the week, but usually it's going to be 1 or 2 because we're only doing it with the best of the best where our handicappers are concerned. So I think that's important, but that's a retail product, that token. That allows people to come in and get a taste of what we do. We can't be any more transparent than actually putting it out there and showing people how they can participate in a game with us. We also have what we call our drawing pool. Right now we have 2 drawings. We have a $10,000 shopping spree that drawing will happen November 26th. It only takes 50 tokens to get your name in that drawing. So, as you can imagine, with the holiday season coming along, someone might really like to have $10,000 shopping spree in for $40, right? Because that's about what it would cost to get into it. You can get your name in there. We're also giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets. That's our second drawing that we're having. So we've created ways for people to be able to use these tokens in different ways other than just becoming a member. Because as well as I do, not everybody wants to be part of network marketing. Not everybody cares about a binary or anything else like that. But they might like sports. They might like the opportunity to do something cool for their family, like a $10,000 shopping spree. And looking into the future, we also have basically a token auction site that we're going to be launching towards the beginning of the year, where people can actually bid on a lot of different items. Okay, so if you're familiar with like a penny auction type,
I can do that.
so we'll be using our tokens, but it'll be for only STB members. So you're not competing with the entire world. You have a great opportunity to be able to bid on some of these and actually, get them. So we're going to have some cool things that people can win inside of that auction. So that's just a little sniff of where we're going. With our token system, though, it opens up the door to do almost anything that we want. And that's really what we're focused on going forward, is creating great ways for people to earn, either tokens inside of our system, Bitcoin, whatever you'd like to say it, that can even be outside of the trading profits that we have, because we just see a huge opportunity for what we're doing, being transparent, being out in front of it for people to participate in a lot of different ways.
Very exciting. I was reading through the website and I seen that you have some types of car bonuses for a Ferrari, or maybe it's just the car itself that you were talking about. So explain what is the benefit of an individual getting in early, as like right now, versus maybe getting in later, because this is a binary. And one thing I do understand about binaries or any program that has a holding tank is that once a person knows how to use that holding tank, you can actually rape the comp plan.
Yeah. So, you're right. We designed the holding tank from a corporate standpoint because we wanted people not to mess up putting people on the right and the left because we don't move people because it creates too much friction on our binary. But I think we all probably understand like timing in almost any business is crucial. And, you know, being one of the first people, I mean, even if you could be one of the first 10 or 20,000 people to find out about what we're doing, I think that that's going to be a real benefit for you financially in the binary and taking your spot. You know, I can't say enough about it, you know, because here's the deal, man. I mean, we have our smallest package is 0.01. So even if you can't wrap your head around every single thing that is going on right now, even to secure your spot for that, I think you'd be insane not to spend, you know, $80 or $85 to do that, at least to secure your spot in the binary. And then you can upgrade at any point in the future that you want to, because that type of opportunity, you know how binaries work, man. I mean, you know, the spillover that you receive, you're going to have so many leaders that are helping you out above you and below you that you have a great opportunity. So I know for a fact we had people that came in, they wanted that proof test, you know, are these guys doing what they're supposed to be doing? All those things, they come in, they position themselves, and then all of a sudden they see, man, look at all this Bitcoin that's, you know, that's on this one leg. So they've got this entire leg that already has Bitcoin sitting there where all they have to do is start building the other. So that's a long answer to timing, but I think timing is crucial right now. And I can assure you this, and this is not coming from an arrogant standpoint, man, we've attracted so many people just like yourself that are amazing leaders that I would say within the next probably 2 months, we'll be at 20,000 versus 2,500. I think we could be at 100,000 within the next 6 to 9 months, very, very easily with the way that things are going.
I mean, I think that's a great assessment, by the way. Which brings me to another great question for those who may not be huge leaders, those who may not be able to recruit as good as, you know, some of the others that are on here or the other major leaders. Is it true, and quote me if I'm wrong, is it true that an individual can benefit from the spillover from the leaders?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's definitely how a binary works. You know, there's a lot of people in our company, and I mean, whether it's good or bad, that they've been sitting there not doing anything, and they might have, you know, 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin sitting on one side of their business. So really all they have to do is concentrate on, you know, putting a couple people on the other side where they start earning it. That's the power of a benefit of, in my opinion, of a binary, is that it's not just you. You know, if you find a couple good people and put them on one side and you're running with the other side with your team, you can start getting paid every single day. So yeah, I mean, spillover is a real thing. You know, I'm pretty familiar with matrices and stuff like that. And, you know, in my opinion, matrices, although they can be super cool, the spillover, what you receive in a binary is much greater because there's no limit to the level, right? It can be infinity that you're getting volume from. So it's a cool comp plan if you get in on top, you know, when you're supposed to.
So there's no, are you saying to me that there is not any breakage in this comp plan?
Well, here's the deal. There's breakage in every, yeah, I mean, or we wouldn't be in business. There are some breakage as a company. There's no flushing of volume. There's no cap out of, you know, so from that side, we don't compress as a company. We don't wipe everybody out and flush out volume that's not used, which most binaries do that. So there's no flushing. Also, when people come into our binary, it's like Bitcoin for Bitcoin, meaning that you don't put in one Bitcoin and you're only getting points for like 80% of it. It's Bitcoin for Bitcoin. So
one for one,
yeah, one for one. It has a much higher rate. So yeah, I think that hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. I don't want to be the only one hogging up all of your time and all your questions. So if there's anyone on the entire Zoom here that may have a question that wants to unmute themselves or they want to type a question in, please type it in, or one at a time, unmute yourself and ask the question so that he can be heard and your question can be answered. I tried my best to write down as many important questions as I could so that it would be fair. So now it's your turn, guys. So what questions do you have that I didn't answer yet or ask yet? Anyone? Or did I do a great job, one or the other?
I think you did great, man. No.
Okay, well, okay. David says, okay, go ahead, D, you're on.
Okay, James, it's nice to meet you. I just wanted to ask you about the four types of ways of earning income through this compensation plan that you have. So can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so we do offer four ways. The first way is our fast start bonus, and the fast start bonus it's for the first 30 days of your business. And basically, the way it works is you can earn 5% on your first level referral. So anyone that you personally referral, you can earn 5%. Anyone that they refer, you can earn 3%. And then on your third level, you can earn 2%. So you can unlock three levels there, basically a uni-level fast start bonus within your first 30 days. Now, the qualification for receiving that, there's two ways that you can qualify. Number one, if you come in at a 1 Bitcoin or higher, you're automatically qualified. Okay, so there's no qualification for that. If you come in at one of our packages 1 through 4, the qualification is to have personal volume equal to or greater than the package you own. So for instance, if you came in at 0.01, our lowest package, and you make a 0.01 sell, you're qualified to start earning that fast start bonus. The second way is what we kind of just got done talking about, which is the binary system. We have a 50-50 binary. So basically what that means is our system will take a look at a snapshot of your business every night and say, okay, how much volume do they have on the left? How much volume do they have on the right? And they're going to pay a percentage of the lesser amount based upon whatever percentage you're at. And that percentage is determined by which package you own. So it goes anywhere from 5% all the way up to 12%, okay, on binary pay. So at our top level, it's 12%. We also have our training bonus. We discussed that a little bit. That's where we allow you to participate in the profits of what we're doing here inside of our membership. And that the minimum bonus right now is 0.25%. Everybody's qualified for that. Our maximum bonus is 1.38%, which fluctuates every month. On the 15th of each month, we reset that based on the previous 30 days profits. But the way that you achieve that maximum trading bonus is very similar to the fast start bonus. You just need to have personal volume equal to or greater than the package you own. So again, in the example I used, or let's just say you came in at 0.1 and you made 1.1 sell, you're now qualified for that maximum trading bonus. The fourth thing is basically our retail sales commission. So the tokenized system that we have, you have the ability to go out there and sell our tokens to retail customers. They don't have to become members. You earn a 10% commission when you sell these tokens. So those tokens, like I said, people can participate in the game of the week. They can do our drawing pool where they get, the chance to win the shopping spree or the Super Bowl tickets. We have the auction coming. So that retail side of our business is going to be huge for a lot of people, that 10% commission. So those are the four ways. And I know that was a real short, condensed, fast version, but hopefully it makes sense to you.
Yeah, it makes sense. So the tokens, let me ask you a question about the tokens. Okay. Now, these tokens, are they going to be on the exchange or what? Or what is the future of it? Is this going to be within the company?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, these are internal tokens. We're not trying to come out with an ICO.
Okay, great. Because then compliance will come in action, right?
Yeah, I mean, I rather spend my time outside of the cell. No.
Yes, me too. Exactly.
Yeah. No, we're not trying to be. We're not trying to do an ICO. These are for internal use only. So they have no impact out of our company.
Okay. Thank you, Dee. Appreciate that. So, James, a question came from David. And this question I'm about to ask you, I really, really appreciate it. When I did my own research, this is what I found to be pretty exciting is you guys already have marketing material for people to use. I mean, you already have the email swipes. You have, I believe, capture pages or landing pages, and you have banners. Tell me what do you guys have? What will you be adding to help the field to market this product in the proper way?
Yeah, so right now I think we have 4 or 5 different landing pages that people can utilize. Multilingual, so I mean there's a translator on there. We have videos both in Spanish and English. We have our PDF tools, our PowerPoints that people can utilize, but we also, with our landing pages, we collect leads. So they collect right there in the back office where people can follow up with people. We have pre-designed banners, so you don't have to go out there and get a designer to do it in almost any size that you need. So if you want to do Facebook, Twitter, banner ads, whatever, you can do that. We do have an email swipe file. I think it's like 7 email drips that you can do. We have a text swipe file as well, so you can use our text messages. Because a lot of people don't know what to say, man. I mean, they want to share it with people they just don't know. So all those are built in. But as far as the future of our company and where we're going technology-wise and things like that, I think you will continue to see more and more landing pages added, as we figure out which ones are converting the best. And as things change, as our token change and the ability to offer different things change, you will have different landing pages to market different ways because, I always say this, I think network marketers tend to go after network marketers, at least the successful ones. And those that are going after the retail market will have different ways to market as well. So I think you will see that entire marketing tool system continue to grow. I like that side of it. I mean, I come a little bit from the internet marketing side, so that part of it's important to me.
And also, I think, which is very important, that you guys do not charge anything extra for the tools in back office, do you?
No, they come as part of the package. I mean, I know most companies are charging, $59 to $99. Ours are included in what we do.
Now that right there is a selling point, which brings me up to this. So another individual in the chat, he asked, signing up, there is an option that says affiliate and retailer. What's the difference?
Yeah, so retail, it should say retail. If it says retailer, we need to get that fixed. Basically, what we're talking about there is when someone comes to your link, most of the time, unless you're just like sending out mass emails and things like that, when people come to your link, they're going to be signing up as either a member, so like an affiliate, a member, or they're going to be buying tokens. So if they choose the retail option, when they get to their back office, they're not going to have access to like the binary or any of our tools. Okay, they are a straight retail customer, so they'll have access to our trading pool, which is our game of the week, our drawing pool, our auction, the things that they can use their tokens on, right? But like a member, that's where you're going to get all the tools, you're going to get the updates, you're going to like all the things, the charts and the graphs, everything that would be included for an affiliate, which is basically a member of our company.
Okay, great. Now, what I think one of the most important things that a company would be best to have is do you have sufficient support for the field?
Yeah, so it's super important to me. One of my biggest pet peeves is bad support. So we just literally this week hired 5 more people in our support team. So we have a really good staff that is there. We're adding live chat very soon to the front of our website to help people on the spot rather than doing tickets. We've had our challenges with support for mainly technical reasons, not staff reasons, but we're getting there. But here's the way we train our people, just so you know. One of my biggest pet peeves is like when I have to go to support and I ask a question and they say, "Hey, we got your your support ticket. Thank you very much." The next email you get is, "Hey, we've passed this on to another department to be able to do it." And then I get to that department and they say, "Hey, we had to escalate this to our programming team or our management team." And then they say, "Hey, it's like a big process, man." So the way that we train people is like the support team that come in, we train them extensively on our compensation plan, the network marketing side of it, the token side of it. So our goal is this, and it won't always happen like this, but our goal is when someone comes to us, whether it be chat or on a customer support ticket, that within 24 hours, we can eliminate the ticket 100%. Sometimes there's going to be, things outside of the control, like it's a programming issue or something like that they can't handle, that we will have to escalate. But right. Normal everyday tickets, we want to eliminate those within 24 hours, and we definitely have the staff to do it. And the scalability of what we do, almost 100% of our staff is bilingual with Spanish and English. So there's a lot of advantages that we have. And we're actually in the process of getting some Chinese speaking support staff as well. So as we break into different markets, we will spend the money to definitely have the staff that we need to help in those specific languages as well.
Which brings me to another good question that I have for you is, so James Ward, who is James Ward? What has James Ward done before? Because people are going to want to know who's running this company They want to know their stability, their competence to run the company, because we run into a lot of owners who own companies that shouldn't be owning companies, and jacking them all up. And then we look bad as marketers when the company crashed. People blame us, but it's really nothing we could do but try to bring the best to them that we can based upon the owner, or what the owner does or does not do. So could you explain, because the people are going to say, well, we're going to find more info on the owner. What have they done before? What's the success? What's his claim to fame?
Yeah, so successes and failures would be key, right? So I come from a finance background. I got a finance degree. I managed money for a decade before I actually got into network marketing. And I started my first network marketing company when I was still managing money, right? So it was kind of a weird deal, but it was right in 2008 when companies were getting bailed out by the government. The whole market had went to crap. And I had this side business over here that I'd started called Little Guy Network that was actually kicking butt. So I walked away from this career that I had, even though I could have sat there and made six figures for the rest of my life, truthfully, because I was already over that hump. But I started this business and that was my passion. So my first company was called Little Guy Network, or LGN. And that, I think if you look that up, we started that company in 2007. It went out of business in 2013. We had over, right at 100,000 people that came through that company during that time, 200 different countries. So it was a huge success. Now, the reality is there's going to be some people, that were at the very end of it that said, hey, that's a failure. But, the reason why that company went out of business is why a lot do in network marketing. We had huge fraud cases inside of our credit card processors. So we've been
tell me about it. I get it.
Yeah. So anyone who's done it, but man, if you think about it, that company was a 2x2 matrix company. All right. That was the compensation plan. And we made it 7 or 6 years. So most of those go out of business in a year. So what I liked about that company is we created a culture that people wanted to be part of. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Since that time, I've been on the consulting side. I've also tried to start another couple companies that some of them had, minor success, some of them not so much. Crypto came out. And since that time, I've really been consulting and helping companies really get their business going and things like that. So, for the last 2 years, I had some personal stuff that I had to deal with, like with my family. But, I'm excited about where we're at. I see such a huge opportunity to come in here and break the mold. There's so many companies that have the intention of leaving before they get started. And we saw a great opportunity to come in here and say, look, we can be out in front of this thing. We can be transparent with what we do, and we can create a movement, and you can see it. That is exactly what's happening. That's why you're receiving so many emails, because people can see that we're real, regardless of what we've done or, the success or the failures we've had. We're here today. And to take it a step further, one thing we didn't talk about is, we went outside of our own company to hire a third-party company to make sure that we're doing what we do. So D. Golden and Associates, they make sure that we pay our commissions on time. They make sure that the long-term math of what we do is viable, that the vision can actually work, and they help us with the security. So we didn't have to do that, but man, with the market the way it is and so many companies going out, we thought like us just coming out as a company wouldn't be enough. So we did hire someone third party to come in and say, hey, these guys are actually doing what they say that they're doing, and we're making sure of it. So that's who I am. And like I said, I'm from Arkansas. I live in Alabama. So I'm sure you got jokes for both of those.
I do actually.
Hey, James, let me ask you a question real quick. You said y'all hired a third party company to work with you and the team. What are some of the other leaders that's that's in your organization? I mean, I see only you, but I know you're talking about the background and everything. So it's the company, do you got a company based, somewhere where you're from, or?
That's a great question. So I'm located in Alabama, as I said, the Southern Alabama. We have staff in Colombia. We have our programming team both in India and Norway. Our customer support, we allow all of them to be remote. So here's my philosophy. I mean, and maybe you got it from my first company, Little Guy Network. I'm a simple dude. I believe putting money back into the members rather than, you're probably not going to catch me on a private jet, and you're probably not going to catch us like in a 20,000 square foot office unless it's just like solely required to run our business. So we do have, obviously I couldn't do this on my own. I mean, we have a lot of people that surround us. As far as D Golden and Associates, their president and owner is Dwayne Golden, who's been in the industry for about 20 years. He still owns his own network marketing company. He owns a crypto company called QLogic, which is the largest Bitcoin ATM company in Latin America. So the reason why we brought them in is because they have a tremendous amount of experience. So, we've definitely surrounded ourselves with that. Now, as far as the face of the company, I'm it, I mean, whether you like it or not, I'm going to be the one that's kind of in front of this right now. But like when you come to one of our live events, you'll see that we're surrounded with a lot of people on our staff that you'll get to meet as well.
So you basically saying that there's no main office anywhere, but y'all doing everything remotely all over the country, and, correspondence with, everybody with support and all that. So that's okay. So I get it. Yes, and ma'am. You said you got a big leadership behind you with this project. And James, you the face of the company. So, I'm not judging you at all. I just met you. I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you got it right. Yeah, we do things remotely, and I mean, that's where I've seen the most success because it's kind of hard to find in Alabama, especially people that are multi-bilingual and cultural. I can't even say the word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm from the South, man. I can't talk half the time where you guys would understand it anyway. But the bottom line is, it allows us to expand at a whole different level, and be in multiple countries at one time. So it's a good thing. So I appreciate the question, Dee.
No problem.
I had another question, but I forgot what I was going to ask. But I think so far you've answered the bulk of everything that anyone would probably need to hear to make a great decision to do or not to do this program. So based upon the individuals that the most we've had on here today, I think it was 17 or 18 or 20, and they're still on. So they're very, very, very intrigued at what you're saying. Is there any questions, guys, that I have not gone over or that I've missed that you guys think I should ask or that maybe you want to ask before we actually let Mr. James Ward go? So speak up right now. Is it Enrico? You have any questions? David, Joel, Arnetta, Doris, Dino, Joe, anything you guys want to actually ask that we haven't gone over yet? Well, James, I think you've done a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Someone asked me one question.
Okay.
What about scalability? Tell me about your scalability of the company.
Yeah, it's important. From a technical standpoint, the scalability, I mean, we've tested into the millions. So there's no, technically speaking, even from like a database, which is usually what drags the system down, which you may know that or may not, but we're fine there. Okay, so scalability, technology-wise, we're fine. Scalability, customer support-wise, we can make that happen. We've got a great extended staff that we can go to as we continue to grow. And by the way, we much rather have more than less to make sure that we're taking care of people. We've already talked about that. As far as the sports trading, okay, that's where the scalability and the cap might come at some point. And what I mean by that is there will get to a place, but it's going to be like when we're in the billions with a B, that the scalability of what we do might become challenging to manage. It's not going to be because there's a lack of people willing to take the wagers. It's going to be because of the scalability of the company. But I'm talking billions down the road. So with a B, not an M. So that is something we foresee. But let's put it like this. If we ever got to that point where we capped out, man, that would be a blessing, because that means a lot of people would be excited about what we're doing. And it would, by that way, that wouldn't mean that we would just shut down. That would just mean that for the people inside of our company, they would still get to participate and still do what we do. And then at some point, maybe open it back up as people leave. But man, we're talking like years down the road. So I'm excited about, how big we could grow this thing without causing the challenges that many companies face.
Okay, good. So I'm glad to hear that. So let me go into some more finer tuned areas that is very important as far as our security. Okay. Securities of the company's Bitcoin, and ultimately the security of our Bitcoin, and how is it stored so it won't be hacked? Because a lot of times we say, oh, we put all our money in there. Sorry, guys, we got hacked. You're shit out of luck.
Yeah, we're done, right? We're done.
Yeah.
So that was one of my biggest things as from a corporate standpoint is it would be a heck of a lot easier if we just kept our Bitcoin on a server from a payment, because we pay 7 days a week, so it takes extra processes for us to get Bitcoin back out to everybody and pay it. It's a pain in the rear end versus if you kept it on, a server, it's super easy. The challenge with that is servers get hacked, and it doesn't really matter how good your team is and how good your security is. The best hackers in the world are looking for Bitcoin. Trust me. So as a company, we do not keep any Bitcoin on our server. So there's no way that someone's coming in and we're coming to you and saying, hey, we got hacked, our server is down. It would require one of the wallets, because we use multiple wallets. It would require not only multiple wallets, but multiple companies inside of wallets to get everything taken. And if that happened, like the whole Bitcoin market's going down anyway with the wallets and the things that we use. So that part of the equation was super important to me, because I've seen it. I mean, you've seen it too. How many times, like even exchanges, man. I mean, there's been exchanges that have walked away with $1 billion, or maybe not walked away, but hacked. And it's real. Like people don't get it. Like these hackers are very clever. So it's an important thing.
Okay. So the company's financial stability. One thing I think that most people want to know when you're putting their funds with someone else, another company, is what is your financial stability to be able to, bankroll a company such as what you're doing right now?
Yeah, well, number one, I mean, we talked about Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. I think that's super important for people to understand, because a lot of companies are going Bitcoin in, they go to a fiat. So like if you're dealing with any type of Forex, you're going from Bitcoin to fiat, or you're switching currencies. There's a tremendous amount of risk in that. So we've eliminated a lot of that. As far as the back end of our company, we do have some private investors that we work with as well. But what's cool about this is that even if we started with zero, right, our model works, because once we have the capital in our hands as far as the company, everything else moves in percentages. So we know exactly, up or down which way the market's moving. We're not like a traditional network marketing company where we're having to worry about a lot of moving parts. Everything is pretty much simplified for us from a money management standpoint, exactly how much, risk mitigation we can have at protecting our capital. Our comp plan is set such that we know exactly what the maxes are. We have different, qualifications in each and every one. So we know, what the most we're ever going to pay out is and the least, and it's included in our algorithm to be able to create what we do. So there's a lot that goes into that, but it's really just simple math. So as far as the backing is concerned, of course, we have, people that are backing us financially if we were to need that. But the cool thing about our program is it's not required. And I'll be honest with you, because I've been in this industry a long time. I've seen companies that have started with $10, $15 million in capital that are backing them, and we're out of business in a year. And I've seen people that started with nothing but a website that end up earning hundreds of millions of dollars. So I don't get too caught up in the capitalization, especially in network marketing, because I think it's a little bit smoke and mirrors.
Okay. So is there a central Facebook page? Is there somewhere where people are gathering right now officially to get Q&A, or they can maybe ask James Ward or someone of the James Ward's company about this or that? So a community of where people feel, hey, I can go over here and find the answer or whatever.
So you really sound like my staff right now. We don't have a Facebook group set up yet. I believe that we're in the process of doing that, where people can bounce ideas. The challenging part with that is obviously policing it, because it becomes a big pitch fest for a lot of people, you know, because people are in multiple programs. We got to be careful. Right now, we do have a Telegram page that you guys can all join. If you just go to our main website, our Telegram address is on there. We update Telegram maybe not every single day, but almost every single day. So if we send out an email, or we're talking about like the game of the week, or any cool information, we share on Telegram. So they're always the first people to get it, because it's instant. So I would encourage people to do that. But yeah, that's it in the way of that. I mean, obviously we have our live events that that we're rolling out as well for people to be able to participate in, which I think that's the greatest opportunity for those that can get there.
Got it. Well, I think that's about it. Only thing I can ask you next is if you're A negative or B positive blood. I think I've asked you.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Is there anything you want to, any ending words that you want to give to us? So you said the Telegram chat is on the actual page. You can go there and click to get the Telegram chat.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe I'll create a Facebook page and a go-to page as well. Since there is none that I know of. I don't know.
Yeah. So you know, the only thing I would leave you with is, number one, Rodney, I appreciate the time to come out here. It looks like you have a cool crew on such a short notice. Great questions, good questions. You can tell that most of the people on here are key leaders that understand the business. I would tell you this. I believe that we're creating a movement right now. I believe that, you know, it's not going to be what we do. It's why we do what we do. And, you know, the culture that we create that people are going to want to be part of. We're really going back to creating a company that, even though Bitcoin is the currency that we take, it doesn't define us as a company, right? You know, where everyone, hey, it's a crypto company. We're not a crypto company. I mean, we're a company that is in, you know, the sports trading arena, but we're about the people and we're creating a culture. So, you know, I would encourage you to get started with this. I think that you're going to find positioning wise and timing is going to be crucial right now to your success. And obviously you have a great leader in Rodney to help you out with anything you need. So Rodney, I appreciate the time, man. I know it's the middle of the day here, so thank you for setting it up. And anything else that you need from me, you know, you have direct access to me. So thanks for inviting me out.
Man, I definitely appreciate that, man. You've been wonderful at being 100% honest and transparent to those who are on this actual Zoom. This Zoom will be a replay later on YouTube, my Facebook page, and I'll put it in your Telegram chat as well. Hey, man, let's make things happen. I'm pretty excited. Guys who are on here Zoom, what do you guys think about Mr. James Ward? Anybody want to talk about what you've heard?
Awesome. Well, James, awesome. Thanks. Go ahead.
Awesome. Everybody said awesome. Yep. Everybody thinks that you're pretty awesome, James, and you're excited. They don't carry you from Mobile, Alabama.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it for real. So. You know, thank you so much, Rodney. I hope you guys have a great day and come be part of what we're doing. I mean, seriously, it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you at the next event. And Rodney, just so everybody knows how we do it as a company, if you can put at least 100 people in seats in a live event, you can get on our schedule, and myself, my team, everybody will be there to help you out. So we've got a lot of people that are planning these out as we go into the end of the year, heading into January. So just note that if you need our help with a live event, if that's the way you build, some people don't build that way, let us know. We'll come to your town and we'll make it happen.
Oh, 100 seats is nothing to me, bro.
Oh, I know that. I can tell that. I mean, but you know, some people. So, all right, Rodney. Well, thank you.
Yeah, we need you to come to our town. That way we can, you know, set it off up there. That'll be great.
Oh, yeah. We're in Washington, D.C., man. What? You're more like 400 or 500 people in the seats.
Well, let's do it, man. We'll get it on the books for real.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, bro. Yeah. For everybody who sees this video, please refer back to the person who actually invited you to this video, and we'll see you on the next Zoom. Peace out. Thanks a lot, James.
You're welcome.